Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we found out that, what's her name? Emma has actually committed the murder of Neil Marshall, a ex-prostitute, meaning Joe Darkey was found not guilty, meaning Joe Darkey was innocent of that killing. Anyway, February 25th, 12:06, District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. You guys know what it is. We about to go back to court. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. And here we are. We about to go back to court for some reason. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around Call of Duty. And to top it off, you call me here, I've seen happier people. Why did I call you? I take it Lana's having you right here again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give you this if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Evidence law? Edgeworth was just talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is this right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to leave a message. She said if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this book Evidence law securely slipped into pocket. For Miss Sky explains the 2 rules of evidence law. Doesn't look like that book will do any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me, Mr. Edgeworth. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is left to do? Your credibility's all been ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky was found out she unwittingly caused the man's death. And now, you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. Yeah, we know who it is. I was right from the beginning. It's gotta be Chief Grant. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. February 25th, 12:52, District Court, Courtroom Number 9. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth, yes, Your Honor. The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but cough, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witness. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking, and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all 3 witnesses. What? Well, there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well, then the defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. You're telling me I get new powers? Then, defense may now call for the next witness. Mr. Wright? You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. Defense calls. The time finally comes to bring up the murderer. Officer Meekett now. Take that! It's Chief Grant. Damon Grant. The defense calls Damon Grant to the stand. Damon Grant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Grant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Grant to the stand. Let's go, boy. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. I'm waiting for the music to go. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Grant. Fine. My name is Damon Grant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Grant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered the prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There's still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries it with certain risk. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin its testimony. Witness testimony, SL9 incident. Alright, let's lock in, folks. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with this forgery. Is that when Darky was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Darky bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. The police chief has the right to refuse to testify. Then I better hit him hard and fast. Pause. Alright, I already know I have a feeling I know where the, contradiction is. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. I want to actually, wait. First of all, I want to read the book of, I want to read this. Rules for submitting evidence. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Ooh, he doesn't know that I have that cloth. Alright, as I recall, Neil and I were As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Darky and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lana Skye also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Darky ran for it. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage. How'd you slip up? So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Darky made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went through. That's not funny. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Hold it. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and the serial killer were laying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Darky was also laying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out when he hit his head on the floor. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. Hold it. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said it earlier. It was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway. As you can see, I had nothing to do with it. That's Cap. So you're saying the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office. That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt, but moving the body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you better start off by staring at the record. Worthy. Oh, it's a smooth number. Which piece of evidence ties her into the forgery? Lana did admit. Somehow I gotta link her into the incident. I got him. Get. Arranged. As you can see, I had nothing to do with it. That's where you're wrong, buddy. No piece of cloth. What does it say for this? I think I know what this piece of cloth is. I'm like 99% sure that piece of cloth is like some part of his clothing. That would be the only explanation for the his fingerprints being on it. But that's a separate thing. The forgery has to be with the unstable jar. Final fragment found in Chief Grant's safe. Emma is written on the surface in blood. Alright, stay with me. 3, 2, 1. Objection! You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar. That's the blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Grant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the investigation. Oh, Chief Grant, what's the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you are involved in the forgery. Who, me? What do you mean? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, we're the one who snuck in my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do it too. Oh, I got 2 witnesses. Isn't that right, Ryan? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. The result, rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relations to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer how to put 2 and 2 together. Witness testimony, evidence and forgery. Let's see, what is it now? A jar fragment in the list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Darky was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Indeed, I believe I will press charges so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, no. Alrighty, Yeji. In return, though, I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys telepathic? Bro, these guys are gonna go to, like, a cabin in the woods and have butt sex or something, bro? They're gonna clap each other's cheek and stuff. For all I know, you could have... Hold it! I I appreciate it if you stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch. Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? Bro, come on now. If you have proof to the contrary, you're gonna need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Rydo's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside the safe, they would prove this investigation was illegal. I never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Hold it. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute... If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, Rido. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Darky was convicted, hold it. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed on the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Darky's sentence. Oh, and wouldn't that have been convenient, right? The chief is talking about a possibility, so as long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something you don't know. Come on, Rido. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in objection. Or hold it, excuse me. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was in that murder? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here, but in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out. Really, Chief Grant. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you reap from all this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you would have, Chief of Police. Oh, the resolution of the SO9 incident secured your post as Chief. That in itself is a sufficient motive. Oh, ho, ho, ho. What is this guy, Saint Nick? Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that I felt a sneeze coming on first and it can't turn into a cough. Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in the line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Gah! Be careful when pointing that finger. You might end up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motive for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There's only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. The number 10 guy. There. It's out in the open now. Gee, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do so. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I truly care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime, be tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. There have been something in it for him. Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out the accomplice. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright? It appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I meant. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Grant may have helped forge evidence? Who is the person you believe Chief Grant may have helped forged evidence? Lana Skye.
Take that!
That's the chief prosecutor, Lana Skye, the defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in the light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to the unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for the Chief Grant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed Chief Prosecutor of the Prosecutor's Office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Grant. But, how could he profit from all this? He would be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as a puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me, despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppet? This judge is a frickin' idiot. Oh, wait! You must meant the puppet as in someone being forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in proving evidence. Your motive to appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I control Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Grant, but Emma already knows she murdered a person. Afraid without any proof, all this amounts to nothing more than just mere conject, unless that is also what happened in the incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The Chief Prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Grant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order! I said, order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest-ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the Chief of Police of blackmail and murder? That's, impossible. Judge that a loss of words. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in an easier-to-understand language. Oh, wow. Really? Phoenix, you're gonna put this on Edgeworth? It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Hey, bro, I gotta back Edgeworth's play at this point. I gotta back this play just like we play in R6. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright, that the Chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Grant's just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Grant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Interesting thing you mentioned. That ties Chief Grant to the murder. Is it this? Didn't we determine that the 7? It has to be this, right? I can't save. Crap. Alright. I think it's the ID card. Take that! Take that! The ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list that we could determine the owner of yesterday. The 7777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my ID number. It's your ID number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Grant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits, you don't mean. I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 77777777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Grant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Uh-oh. He doesn't look too happy. Order! Chief Grant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will determine Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from me about the use of this ID card. What's going to happen to you? Chief Grant, so you admitted you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. What about it? I'm the chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't happen to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I haven't seen him in days. You haven't seen him in days. Chief Grant, I'm afraid you just undone yourself. That day, you had to have met Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Scott's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. Chief Grant met the victim on the day of the crime. And we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Grant on the day of the crime. Why do we gotta keep showing evidence? Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Grant on the day of the crime. Is it the lost item report? Can only be submitted to the Chief of Police. Take that! Take that! Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Oh, let's go! I'm on a roll. To be more accurate, Jake Marshall. So Detective Goodman followed out a lost item report. He would have to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure he filed it. Or filled it. Oh, it is filed. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes. To transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Grant. Then you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait! The Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mentioned it, I believe I didn't get to finish reading that. But you know what? I'll take I trust Edward. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No. Is this guy going to super say bad? Chief Grant, you did it. The murderer was most likely a spur of the moment crime for no one in their right mind. Would you choose the police department as a place to commit the murder? After the murderer contacted Lana at the prosecution's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. Oh, come on, Edgeworth. Be a little more specific. Tell the court it was your car. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecution's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, take this here dead body over to the prosecution's office. I don't think so. Chief Grant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecution's office. All this time, I thought it was useless food just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Oh my god, I know! To move the victim's body, Chief Grant used Edgeworth. Edgeworth was at the ceremony at the police department. During that time, Chief Grant killed Goodman, stuffed Goodman in Edgeworth's car, and then by the time Edgeworth drove over, it was 3 minutes, 5:12 p.m., 3 minutes before Lana Skye was caught stabbing Goodman. It has to be the parking stuff. Take that! Take that! This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. Parking stuff. Miles Edgeworth. You mean the body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. You mean I carried the victim's body? Precisely so. But wait, even you know I didn't plan on returning to my office. After the ceremony finished that day. That's why I had you. But you did return. Tell me why. This is screwdriver. I was asked to go by the chief grade, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecution's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbing, I brought this back here. So you see, what you really were taking to the prosecution's office wasn't the screwdriver, but the victim's body in her trunk. Detective Baker's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes, unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took in the prosecution's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It was a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Grant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Wright, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we were to make it to time for the early break special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? The police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons. Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. That makes you just a guilty. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks. Objection! So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh now, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, you think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show me your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gritz is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof that Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body? Do I have any concrete proof? Let me look. Do I have any concrete proof? It has to be the piece of cloth. This makes sense. There's only two people who knew about what Emma did. Lana and Grant. Lana asking for Grant's helped her. Make it look like Joe Darkey killed, Neil Marshall. That being said, we already have established that Grant held this as a way to use the chief of prosecutors, Lana Sky, as a puppet. With that being said, this piece of cloth, found in Chief Grant's safe, it's evidence he was holding on to something, just as important as that last piece of jar. With that being said, bears Emma Sky's prints. It has to be this. This has to be a piece of cloth that Neil Marshall was wearing at the time he was killed. I have no proof yet to present evidence. I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I gotta keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman. Oh wait, it better prove Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh crap, it may not be the frickin' this might be a problem. Better prove Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. This is a problem. I don't feel confident in this now that I don't know if it's just the way it worded it. Screw it. I got plenty of chances. Take that! Take that! So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof as to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's skill. Let's go 3 for 3. I'll let you be the judge, but I am the judge. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill this guy. Oh right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? What I think, Mr. Wright, is I'm gonna be late for damn it! They really baited me into. Guess it wasn't enough. Please, Your Honor, give me a little longer to consider. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Grant's the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Cool, let me save my game. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof that Chief murdered Goodman and disposed of this guy's body? I don't think I do. I might have to say I don't have proof yet. There's no use showing evidence I'm not sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Edgy? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. Seems that Lady Luck was on my side today. Okay, Edgy, I'll leave the rest to you. Nah, this can't be it. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to our senior officer in the nation's law enforcement agency. Objection! Thank you, Edgeworth. Save me from being penalized, Lady Luck. Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's no one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony, Lana Sky. A lady who knows the truth, another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Grant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions, Lana Sky. Raised in this trial, someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls for Jake Marshall. Take that! Scott. The defendant Miss Lana Sky. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with the certain someone's orders, Mr. Edgeworth, prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on! Huh? Chief Grant, I thought you were going to eat. Oh. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. He's trying to intimidate my defendant. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This is good. Of course, you never supported such an outrageous claim anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I got a lunch date to meet. No one sees it. No one thinks that's suspicious. Okay. If there aren't any further objections, Your Honor, he just intimidated my witness. This court is now in recess. Oh my god, those guys aren't making it easy. I thought Von Karma was bad. February 25th, 2:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief, he's something else, pal. Detective Gumshoe. I'm not a detective. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry. I've already decided to go to work now. At your office. You know what? I would gladly, if I was Phoenix Wright right now, I would gladly welcome Gumshoe with warm, open arms. I would give that man the biggest bear hug of his life. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top knotted girl you used to work with. Maya? Or Mia? No, it is Maya. Wait, Mia? No, Maya. Yeah, Maya. Still, looks like you're Chief Grant's done it again. How is he always he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair. He has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, right? Remember what the judge said. What, Chief? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risk? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite possible. It's true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Lana? Damn it, Emma. Emma, are you okay? Yeah, when I came to you, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery, so she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I always felt somehow, I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by a terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Grant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything that Chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. You want to blame anyone. Blame society, pal. Chief Grant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back in. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait here? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. To be continued. Yeah, nah. I just started. We're already 44 minutes into this. Dang. Well, let's go ahead and load. Or save, excuse me, and continue. February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Excuse me. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand? Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you, but Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you're under oath. You want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Grant. Everything which is on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Grant. I have a feeling she's not going to make this easy. Witness testimony, Grant and the fabrication. I worked alongside Grant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Near Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. She's not going to make this easy. My only motive was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana, if this is true, then that means Chief Grant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you gotta help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something. Inside, deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright. I worked alongside Grant for years. Hold it. How many years exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Grant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good at coming from the same school as Mia. Even Grant was a respectable detective, that's why. There's no truth to the blackmail theory. But then think about it, Sky. You didn't Detective Goodman. You told me much yesterday in jail. You don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Hold it. Did she do so to help your sister? Joe Darkey was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day all because of Act 3. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana, so that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken Prosecutor Award's knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dream was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean, Prosecutor Marshall wounded up being killed by Darkey? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Darkey was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Darkey's knife and planted it inside the wounded body. You planted the tip of Darkey's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You, of all people, should know it, Edgeworth. You always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. Why did you plant the knife? Why did you move the body? Why'd you do that? Come on now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out. Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason why this guy fabricated the knife. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. Hold it. I'm gonna go back to this part, because I want to ask the second part, the other question. Why'd you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the body? It was where you deducted it was by the chief grid's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why'd you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason this guy moved the body. The jar shattered during the events threatened. How? Pieces of the jar, you mean? Yes, the wrench jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Darky committed the crime, I felt that it would be more expensive to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course it already been shattered to pieces. If you look at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. I don't see the jar though. Neil Marshall was dead and Darky was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during the struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. That can't be the case. But I have a feeling there is more to that than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Yeah, the jar was broken. How did he put the jar back together and write Emma's name? Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motive was to get Darky convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Hold it. So you arranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. You're so desperate to hide the facts. You're willing to risk the death sentence. She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unimportant. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I gotta get her to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up with a contradiction. Broke? No. Piece of the jar shattered. I don't think that's the case. Let me quickly save just in case. During the pieces of the jar shattered during the events. It could not have shattered. It would have had to shatter afterward. There's no way he wrote Emma on several different pieces. The final fragment found in Chief Grid's safe. Emma's written on the surface in blood. Objection! Objection. Gotcha. Miss Guy, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. Contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, the pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must have not yet broken before he died. Ah. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Order! Order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. Unintended. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical. Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. Witness testimony, jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clear before they were discovered. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Darky was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. I immediately noticed the blood traces in the jar. Hold it. There was a power outage. Time out, there was a power outage. How would you notice the shards? Or the blood on the shards? So the jar was already broken. It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feelable as the defense's case. Well, Your Honor, but not as feelable as the judge's judgment. You were an ace detective. I don't know what I said before. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out, so how'd you see the blood then? So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Lana, can you do that for me? Seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. Hold it. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. You mean, if you really thought Darky killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana? I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. Thank you, Phoenix. The detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light with a camera with me. When I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go, you are a nerd. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. All I could think about was wiping the blood and discovery. What did you wipe it with? So you illegally rearranged the crime scene? Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we got to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecution's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sister is really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I've finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I had to check it out. All I could think about was wiping away before they were discovered. Hang on, what am I gonna present? I'm confused. Oh, it didn't say me anything. I immediately noticed the blood traces in the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were so large, I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Oh, wait, I think I know the contradiction. Alright, I think this is the contradiction. It's either that or the next one, or the previous one. Alright. Objection! Gotcha. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? found the final piece of this jar in Chief Grant's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about the final piece. There was still blood on it, but the witness just testified. She gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Grant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant simply this? I'm afraid that's unlikely. Pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day. You waste my day every time. Look for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Huh? Can you believe that? Uh-oh. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on the side of the jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Grant at the time he was looking for Darky downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No! Who's on trial here? Is it Lana or the judge? Wait. I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Grant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar. He proceeded to break the jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question. What is this? Why is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would the Chief Grant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear what happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Grant's aid. Lending her his aid, Grant helped her create evidence that incriminated Darky, sparing Emma, and then in there lies the reason why Miss Skye became Chief's puppet. Oh, she's biting that finger hard. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore. I'm saying, no, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. You don't believe anything Miss Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. And the chief prosecutor who does forgery. I guess you do seem like the type who likes to twist the truth. Your Honor? Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Grant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana, maybe right after all. What do you mean, Wright? So you tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Skye, please testify once more. But, if the evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember not killing Mr. Marshall. Miss Skye, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. I'll testify about what I really saw. All right, the witness may testify once more for the final time. Witness testimony. The actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor, sword. Emma and Darky were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Grant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword. You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I beg your pardon? I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. Huh? What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. Court record? Check that book. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any picture from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check the evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Oh, I can actually examine it? Ooh! Hey, there's a picture here. Wait, look! Look at his thing's missing. Look, his, whatever you call that, a poncho? I don't know, Pokemon? I don't know, whatever it is. But something's been torn. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I rearranged everything. Lana's picture inserted in the court record. Crime scene photo from the case taken 2 years ago taken. Mr. Wright, that piece cut out of his vest, could that be the cloth we found inside James Grant's safe? What's this? She doesn't know about the handprint. This handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whosever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. Oh, no. What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with this cross-examination. So, as long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Excuse me. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body killed. What? I didn't even. What? Come on now, Edgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Grant? What? Now you want to make me out as a bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a murder situation. You can't do that. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make a statement of any sorts. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back and relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Damn, Edgeworth! Gah! Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves you knocked up Neil Marshall causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? I show the piece of evidence now. Unless you're to be made out as a murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. If you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? I gotta show it. Yes, Your Honor. I do have further evidence. Alright, the time's finally come to show it to them. The prints got to be the Chief's. Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who really murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Oh god, this is gonna be easy. Take that! Take that! It's piece of leather cloth? Yes, it most likely was cut from the victim's vest near his chest. What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword. What? Whose fingerprints are on this? I'm sure Wright has checked. Haven't you? Well, whose are they? Oh no. They're Miss Skies. Miss Emma Skies. What? They're mine? So I really did do it. See, I told you. But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that? But give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma Sky to Neil Marshall's death. No. It appears we have our killer. No. No! Oh, did I screw up by being honest? Everything hinged on that point. In the end, Lana alone was found guilty on all counts. Oh, I screwed up. I screwed up. I screwed up. Bruh, excuse me for being an honest... This is why... See, this is proof right here that lawyers have to lie. Crap, I don't even remember what this part was. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago by myself. I broke the tip of the dark knife and put it inside the body. What was it? Oh, it was the base right here, right? Objection! Gotcha. Okay, I need to skip through this. I'm spamming A, just skip it. Jar in the message of blood, yada yada yada. Go ahead and save. So I don't have to go through that again. And then it's the jar again. It's this, and then... Objection! Did I ever say? I don't know if I have, I'm gonna say it again. But I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack's so good. Come on. I just got bitter thumbs so hard that light. you'll say, hold it. Actual crime scene. Wait, right? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be the book thing. Let me save my progress real quick. Or not. I just realized I don't think I've ever read these. Thinks he's a cowboy. Still gotta skip through this. Yep, there's the hold it. Yeah, this is the risk. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! Chief Grant, you opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The inclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you want to present it. What are you talking about, Chief Grant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? Looks like a part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the Chief of Police, have been concealing evidence? This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gal, Righto. The goal, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. But you can't. What, you mean you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime. I thought this guy revoked his right to testify. I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It was then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana, so you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask for my aid, so you assisted this guy. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and loop the body across the room, and I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Darkey convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe, but why? For insurance. Of course, insurance. I was sure my plan would work out, but it's always the best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence. What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most eligible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off of the but if you fabricated all the evidence, who's to say you didn't fabricate the message on the jar too? Oh. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Grant, that you were hiding the cloth that you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Do I show evidence now? Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who really murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Bro, if I show this again and I lose, I'm gonna be embarrassed. Take that! On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh, yes. At last, you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. The handprint on the leather. There must be a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Oh. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Rhino had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeded as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Take that! Emma? Emma Skye? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. Why? Why don't you tell me? Oh, you really stupid, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to death. How could you? You monster, Miss Skye. You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really did it. Miss Skye? It's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! I'm afraid it's over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. Wait a minute. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence must be relevant to the case on trial. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat cut your tongue. Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Grant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool blabbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction that proves who who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Keep drink. Your arrangements here. Behold, the piece of evidence contradicts this cloth. Is it the book? Book? Screw it, I'll try. Take that! Oh, it's fun watching you squirm, Righto. This piece of evidence does indeed seem to contradict something. Your outward appearance of mental sanity. Oh, come on, Your Honor. What am I doing? This cloth was cut from Prosecutor Marshall's vest after he died. There's something definitely not right about it. Too late to turn back now. You're the only one who can put an end to this. Found in the chief's safe. That does not look like his thing. That does not look like it. It's gotta be a photo. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest was soaked with blood. That's only natural. Oh, his thing should be soaked in blood, too. His lungs were no doubt punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth... Wait! There's no blood on it. Ugh! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled with a sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now the Chief Grant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. So, if so, tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armored sword. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person decided to write her name on the jar with blood. A jar that then broke on purpose and make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago, that you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Though the very act of creating assurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. Oh! Bro is going Super Saiyan. It's finally all over. Objection! Heh. Bro, you have no reason to be laughing. Oh! That was close, Righto. You almost had me. Sorry, but all you have to do is better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute these allegations? You can see that piece of cloth. It's illegal evidence. You! Order! What's this nonsense? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict the suspect. Remember, Edgy? Earlier, old Righto here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this time. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present this evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. Well, that's not fair. Did you actually think you could beat me or test me for it? Looks like the last lap's on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Grant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, true. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last that time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, you admit to it, that you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth. Let me just save. Should I just be honest? purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? I did not. I admit, I refused to present it at multiple points. Ah! So the evidence is illegal. No, it isn't, Mr. Grant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present the evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean, you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved in presenting evidence. No, Edgy, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really... There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present the evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. It's the book. Take that! Take that! This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have the approval from the police department. Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the discipline incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one picture in. Objection. Sorry, but you can't recall when was that picture presented. That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it the value as evidence was you, David Grant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes. No. It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before the prosecutor marshal at his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who that could be. David Grant. The killer was you. Gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been sneaking around the department, trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insists on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, and then convinced Detective Goodman. Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my own chance to find out the truth. Please, you gotta help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to him that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking out the evidence, he said, "It's not too late. I'm gonna hand this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he would bring up SL9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worried so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as a crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car? Sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk. What's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecutor's car aside, how could you get Miss Guy involved in all this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments in the glove. Yeah. Looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me. We're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Reggie? What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, David Grant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Edgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here. And Worthy. These two around, can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of new... I'm assuming that said memories. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, David Grant betrayed you from the beginning. Excuse me. You see, Miss Guy, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. The time I had Grant help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Guy. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Aw, she's smiling. Smash. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Guy. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an honor it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to me. What do you mean, guided me? You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it. I only did my job. Aw, Edgeworth got the blush. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Guy? Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as an accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt freed of these heavy chains. Smash. Anyway. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. February 25th, 5:03 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, not that. Just now, after the trial ended. I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. Even though I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. Hope I'm not in her gumshoe. Oh. Yes, I am. I'll come back later. Wait! Detective Gumshoe. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. I thought you wanted a detective. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I didn't call you. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh. Are you here because of my sister again? Nope. Not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me. That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Lana. Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you... How are you still a detective? Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Grant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. I was hiding what I believed to be the truth. I was deceiving you. Sis. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis. I always knew that one day you'd come back, and now you have. Oh, Emma. It's nice seeing her smile. Aww. No one could change the past. The only thing that we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because, in doing so, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright? Mr. Gumshoe? Me. Thank you for both, for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. He doesn't look happy. Where was he hiding? I just came to say, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Grant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once they try to go it alone. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. Get a gun. It's scary. I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Grant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I cannot continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Grant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime, but they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this accomplice? Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I was able to find on our own. How does it mean evidence list? Take that! I still have eyes to say, take that! That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began because you had half of the evidence list, I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth, if you excuse me, there are still some loose ends I need to be wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let that help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? Bro, I don't like that smile, bro. That's a very devious smile. But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. I better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific Investigation? It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis, I will. It's nice to see her smile considering she's been depressed this whole time. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off yet, pal, huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are different. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sniff her out for 20 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here's the one who'd be footing the bill. Huh? Wait, you think I can afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Objection! arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top corner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days as the prosecutor office. Still, I managed to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Aww, like a sister team. No way this is the end of the game, right? Or am I being played like I was in the last episode? Yikes, I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily. I definitely enjoyed this episode. It definitely was a longer episode than the other was, I think, even with Von Karma. Oh, Meekins! My new mission is to guard the entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe that? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm gonna make a detective. Yes, sir. Then I can just be like that Dick Gumshoe. Why was Officer Meekins demoted? He was doing his job. Excuse me, I want to see what happened with Marshall, Jake Marshall. Frickin' Blue Badger. Or however the music went. Oh, Blue Badger died. I don't know how long these credits are, so they might be a minute. Oh, Marshall. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this into me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? So Marshall got arrested. That's unfortunate. Now, speaking of Miss Star, looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The Wright Way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Thanks. Kid seems to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around the exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. What else are we gonna see? Let's see. I guess Edgeworth or Butts? I mean, we haven't really seen Larry since the... I'll never get what that young defense lawyer said. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing, or something, or other than for how many years? Well, anyway, I got another trial to get to, so I better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go. That's the first time I've seen the chair empty with a close-up view like that. I don't know why I said gravel for gavel. Anyway. Oh, Maya. Ah, nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, something I do miss hearing you and your objections. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon's training's about to begin. Coming. Well, see you around, Nick. Mystic Maya is her new name. Interesting. I'm not even going to pronounce any of these names because I know I'm going to butcher them. Oh, Edgeworth still has his office. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth. I brought you your tea. What's going on? Uh-oh. The music changed. Sorry. I wonder how the bellboy, now I think that, how did the bellboy go from the water hotels to there? Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Oh, I actually get to examine it. Let me actually put a picture in the back. Aw, it was back when she was a detective. That's sweet. Achievement unlocked. Rise from the ashes. Clear episode 5 of PWAA, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. No way, is that the end of the game? Select this. Wait, is that the end? Wait, no way, that's the end. Episode 1, the first turnabout. Episode 2, turnabout sisters. Episode 3, turnabout samurai. Episode 4, turnabout goodbyes. Episode 5, rise from the ashes. Wait, so... No, wait, is this the end of the game? Oh, no. So wait, there's Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations. Okay, so we still got 2 more, so I think, what, I'm going to assume there's like, what, there's 5 episodes per thing, so there's 15 episodes in total, 5 for this one, 5 for this one, and 5 for this one. 5 times 3, 15. So, we got Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. Or Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, yeah, alright. So, this would be the second one, and this would be the third one, right? Anyway. That's gonna be it for the first, I guess. I don't know what you would call that. The first game, I guess. Anyway, if you guys want to see the second game, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure to check out my Twitch channel, link in the description. If you're watching this on Twitch, make sure to just drop a follow. It goes a long way. And yeah, that is everything. I hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys have a good night. Hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. Good night.